What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today we are going to cover the Day 2 recap of the EWMC National Leadership Conference. In this recap that I wrote up and is covering January 16th, 2025, we're going to discuss the events leading up to the first opening plenary session. I already did a video on the opening plenary session. You can check that out and you'll see what took place in the opening plenary session. This is everything before and after the plenary session, just my Day 2 recap. So let's dive in. I started my morning with a call to my family, always the most important part of my day. It really does bring back into focus the reason why I do the work that I do. The reason that I do the work that I do is to provide a future that it has promise, that has optimism, that is something to look forward to instead of a future that is bleak and scary. And so the work that I do is about organizing workers and trying to get as many working folks to wake up from the nightmare that we're all living under. And many of us don't even know that we're in a bad situation because propaganda is strong in this country and it keeps us convinced that everything is A-okay, but it's not. So, had my call with my family, wonderful, builds up the spirit, feeling optimistic, let's go. Went to BLT's for breakfast. BLT's is a spot in St. Louis. I had pineapple pancakes, delicioso, scrum-diddly-umptious, just like Ned Flanders would say. Very, very good. I met up with Roger Lake again, and this time he had Josh Peniston with him. He's an organizer out of Local 1. For those of you who don't know, Local 1 in St. Louis is the first, as the number designates, it's the first IBEW local. It is the birthplace of the IBEW, which was born November 28th, 1891. Josh was nice enough to drive us around the fair city and tell me all about some of its history and landmarks. We got to look at Forest Park. We got to look at a couple different areas. We went by Local 1. It was very cool. He also got to tell me a little bit about the battle that he's going through trying to organize electricians in the area. There is a grimy contractor by the name of Reinhold Electric who is undercutting wages and paying below area standards, stealing from their workers the wages that they deserve in order to get work. And this company is one that we've got to organize them. The time that we spent driving around also took us to Local 1's Union Hall, and I gotta say, Local 1, you guys have a gorgeous hall. Very, very beautiful. It's something to be proud of. I met the business manager, Frank Jacobs, and all the brothers that I met at the hall were very warm, very welcoming, very cool, and that vibe carried out for the rest of the day. Once we got back to the hotel, it was onward to an impromptu meeting called in regards to protecting immigrant and undocumented workers. You got to understand that at this time, raids had already begun in Bakersfield, California, and they were already terrorizing Latinos in the area. The meeting was called by Francisco Paco, a JW out of Local Union 11, to address the very real threats that immigrant communities are facing in 2025. It was a well-attended meeting. I'll do another video regarding that meeting and what came out of it, but it was a very, very well-attended meeting. A lot of fire in the room, a lot of folks with skin in the game, if you know what I mean. Changed clothes. I headed over to the opening plenary session of the conference, which I told you I already did a video on that. You can check that out. Once the conference ended, there was a national officers reception. I got to meet my current labor activism hero, Brother Sean Bagsby. He's the business manager out of Local Union 46 and president of the National Electrical Workers Minority Caucus. I expressed my gratitude for the work that he does. I gotta be honest, I had a little bit of a fangirl moment. I even forgot to introduce myself by my name. I was just like, hey man, thanks for everything you do. You're an inspiration. I love everything that you do. And I forgot to say, hey, by the way, my name's Eric. I know. I went back to my room and I called it a night after the National Officers Reception. Again, I gotta say, if you don't have an EWMC in your local, start one. If you do have an EWMC in your local, become a part of it. It is the heartbeat of the IBEW. It is where activism is fostered. It's where it's nurtured. It's where the idea of organizing is honed in. It's where leadership skills are built. It is a place for inspiration, and it's a place for everyone. If you hear on a job site and they say the EWMC is the Black Caucus, they don't know what they're talking about. It's for everyone. The EWMC is for everyone. I can't say that enough. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember that the fight's not left and right. It's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. And remember, there can be no union without you and I front and center. So let's go. Peace.